Greetings, this is Bloodrill and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity, where I'm currently exploring the sanitarium.
Good day to you.
Bella sits. A woman paces back and forth. She gestures and mumbles to herself. Okay. She almost walks into you. Ekoshi. Here I am, looking so hard for answers in my research that I do not see the Keith standing in front of me. What can I do? What do you do here? According to my research grant, I study awakenings. Sublimating pre-awakened souls have been one of Animals' greatest successes, and I'm working on a method to replicate the process on awakened souls. But the truth is that I find few suitable subjects here. Wedwin's legacy has left plenty of awakened souls, but most are too broken for study. I feel I will return to Revua with nothing to show for my efforts. I am awakened. I've been recalling flashes of past life. Most interesting, but not the kind of awakening I can study, I'm afraid. I need someone whose awakened soul can be triggered with predictable stimuli. Souls such as these tend to manifest as alternate personas in the host. Well, we know something like that. But I thank you for the offer. So that's the mage, right? I think so. I'd like to know about animals in the Vailian Republics. It's a dynamic and respected field. Even the Balrits incident did little to slow it. People in the Republics are more accepting of risk, less superstitious, ready to try anything that shows promise. What? No. It's a shame that so many here are so hostile towards animalcy. It is, but such is the way of the Deerwood. The people here are fierce about their sovereignty, but they are not so independent from their Aediran brothers and their Glanfathan neighbors as they would like to think. They rely too much on the mysterious workings of the gods and fear the very advances they need. Cool. Can I talk to him and say, yo dude, you should try that, no? Yes, also. I haven't talked to Durance in a while.
If doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skidding your knuckles on the wrong door.
What is your view on Magran?
She's a goddess, as fickle as they come, and with all the failings you'd expect of an empress and a whore. Too many eyes, too many wants, too much to hold on to. That's the failing of a god. More aspects than words to describe her, like most of them. A god with many nations to oversee, only serves to spread herself too thin.
Although flame rarely crosses twice, so perhaps that is the only truth she embraces. Who knows? Gods get greedy. When it comes to fire, fire is a god's hunger. What are her aspects? War transforms, fire consumes, trials purify. Warfare, fire, consume, purification, and most of all transforming. Trials as well, but all things are put to the test anyway. A trial can consume, purify, transform. They are all linked, although it is at its heart is a flame, and the flame is what matters. It is the source of all things. Guess they should have started with that. Any fool around a campfire knows that. Without flames, fire would have made little progress in the dark. To hear some of the inner fires tell it around the hearth and bellows, even in the halls of Asphalt, you'd think the fire has brought life to man, and that fire was Magran. Some of the older texts say she rubbed her hands together and they burst into flame. Or another god shafted her like a poker. There are different perspectives on her then. He grants. Mine is only one sight among many. But here is one. I can speak to how the losing side sees here. And that should tell you enough. Let me speak to what an Aediran sees. And what does an adherent see? The adherents have a proper polite translation for her. Excellence in war. Tactical discipline, he snorts. That's why they lost the fucking colony, of course. They were properly still quoting that while we had them bent across the decks. All their guns and cannons are fine, but useless when your staff is cracking light into their skulls, dispensing red gifts left and right. Duran's fists tighten and he laughs. Idirans call that elevation divine awareness. Those words are as welcome as sit on one's boots, and that's all they took back with them while they were running. A lesson learned at the wrong time. Almost feel a pang of sympathy for them. Almost. Lesson, what do you mean? The title of a god isn't knowing a god. Adhering to words rather than walking the path, testing yourself in the heart of it, walk until the words are stripped away and you feel it burning in your heart. That is the lesson. That Idiran politeness, that pretty adherence to the word of scripture as they saw it, that burned their ships, scarred them, kept them running through the Deerwood campaign. Divine awareness. There is no true faith in waiting to be tested. The best in battle have already set themselves plenty. Set themselves until they are dry and can focus on the killing. Alright.
I suspect the answers will seed more questions.
What about you? Where are you from?
Where I hail from? From one of Margren's fires. A cathedral. Ashfall. Made of blackened trees. I studied the scriptures there. The fires carved into the land. The trunks of the burnt trees. And in the factories where the rifles and cartridges were shaped. All are chapels in other devotions.
Other devotions? For Magran, any fire is enough for worship, physical or not. A blacksmith's anvil, a craftsman's bench, all arenas where fire is waiting to be born. Duran snaps his fingers. It just needs a spark, like an alchemical fire or a spark to cartridges, to speed them to their purpose. Their purpose? Well, their purpose then. It was many thens ago. Bird was a little brighter than now. But yes, cartridges, guns, all had a purpose, and that purpose was punching holes in mages and letting their pompous air hiss out. Woke their kind right up and kept them staring at the ceiling in the dark instead of sleeping, that's for certain. Aloth rolls his eyes. Pompous air indeed. A little vines as an accounting, an answer for unchecked power. Well, Magran gave an answer to that. Magran put soldiers and mages on equal footing. Mages were troublesome in their time. Firearms made every man a mage, and Caster's pretty arcane shield was little much for them. It turned its commoner into a beast that could spit fire. It leveled the field of battle, that's for certain. Made many a mage a grave. That is actually logical. Tell me more about Asphalt. What can you tell me about Asphalt? What more to tell? It's one of the greatest fires of Magran, the high seat. Some say the blackest, not of evil, but of us. All that remains after fire has fed. I called it a cathedral before, that's not the full truth of it. It's more of a battlefield. It lies in the heart of the war of black trees. Its timbers built from the burned forest there. Its timber blessed by fire, and one of Magran's greatest battles. Many of us helped shape the war effort there, with flames and firearms. What is the cathedral like? Massive. Beautiful. Blessed by the goddess. Flame cannot strike it twice. Beneath, tunnels and chambers, billows and fire pits, and many of the faithful looking for means to bring fire to the world. Guns, explosives, alchemy, all of these are our holy symbols, and we are eager to share. That staff of yours seems like your holy symbol. Do you have Wild's eye painted on your skin? There is more mysteries than questions. And even a marching force answers won't placate you. Even soldiers need to let their thoughts settle. Alright, he had enough. Right. Let's see.
Indeed.
Who else? This game has a ton of dialogue. Mordred.
Hail,
Alright.
traveler.
Can I help you? He forced a polite smile. What are you working on? Mario focuses wits, more specifically how to cure them. Why do you study wits? What kind of question is that? Just think of all the families that will be healed. Jesus. Alright. What could be more important? Animalcy has an answer here, I know it. It's simply a matter of working it out. I see. Is that stealing? Yes, it is. But not that. How weird. Let's check it out. Okay. Huh. In a corner of Mudry's lab rests a large, weathered trunk. It seems likely to contain something important, if only by virtue in its size. Examine the trunk more closely. The lack of dust on the trunk surface and the long scratches of the tile floor suggest that the trunk is frequently used and moved throughout the laboratory despite its considerable size. Deep yet narrow gouges score the wood at the edge of the trunk. They look like claw marks. Okay, we need a key. Interesting. That was unexpected.
Good day to you.
I can't ask about it. Does it have a witch in it?
Greetings.
Yes, we know about that. Yeah, that was kinda hard to predict. But we paid dearly for our mistake, I promise you. Angry mobs hunt out animal cells and burn down their homes, with them still inside, often as not. People took to calling it the cruel salvation, and many still loathe us for it. But we wanted to stop the legacy as much as anyone. The public begged us for our help, and we did the best we could. Right? Interesting. And also, yeah. A locked room. I wonder what's inside. What's with the implements of torture? No, that's locked and requires a proper key. Also requires a proper key. Alright, it's not here. I wonder if you get a quest later. Is there a lot of locked rooms in here? Nothing new. Let's see. Map. Alright. Gift, no. House de Omenel, whatever. Raymond Manor. Copper Lane. A child barrel. Where is that woman? Around. Oh, okay.
I think it may be time to strike up camp. Ugh.
Jesus, the guy is so easily fatigued. And he's a Naumawa too. You would expect them to have better constitution. Guess the athletics is the problem. Alright, what's this? Where am I? 100 house. There's up. Ah, I think this is the place. He doesn't get any. Okay. Ah, there he is.
Gods keep you.
He is. Kuren, not Karen, okay? You carry whispers, Kaed Nua, Gilded Veil, old voices indeed. Cipher. You are a Cipher like me, I'm guessing. He grins, revealing a row of dagger-pointed teeth. You guess what you must surely know. My own modest abilities suggest that yours are most formidable. Would be quite useful here, of all places. A pity then that my duties to Lady Webb require me to focus my talents elsewhere. He regards a table piled with scrolls. What brings you to Dunreid Row? Show him Panhelm's affidavit. Is this affidavit real? It's signed by you. I remember Panhelm, a preening peacock of a man, his mouth dry and hands moist when I told him he was a sole descendant from an Idaean general, one who fought against Hadred Rebellion. A forgery and not the first I've seen. But I've not time for the knights and their obsessions. Bring this to his commander, Cipher, and show him the seal. He points to the wax stamped by his forged signature. If he compares with another, he should be able to spot the difference. Alo's gaze flickers to you. Doom a man for the souls God gave me seems rather unfair. It is, but maybe he will find a better place because the knights are pricks. Looks like you could use some help. Not at liberty to discuss my work, unfortunately. A civilian will need the confidence of Lady Webb before I could share. Okay. I check for soul connections, looking for lost things, missing things, or troublesome things. Particularly where people of power and influence are concerned. I'm a Cipher, in a Glanfath, were once known as Briswagin. I have no idea. Brishalgwin. Mindhunters. Nice title, yes. But it wasn't until the Animancers began working with my kind 40 years ago that we truly understood our power. Now we know some of the best. Now we make some of the best detectives in the world. This is an interesting faction also. If I could work for them, I would. Tracing souls, who can look at a person and see where they have been. Or look at a weapon and see who has touched it. Useful for solving crimes, as you can imagine. Yeah, I'm definitely need to find this Lady Webb. Agents, more agents. Interesting.
I can do that.
6 mechanics. Yes.
Yes? I'll handle this. I'll handle this.
Sure.
It's done. I shall.
Let's see. More agents. This is really interesting actually. Can I meet with this lady? Maybe she's upstairs.
I'm here.
Margaren's fire casts light in dark places.
Yes?
I wonder if there's anything hidden here.
I'll see what I can find.
Look around. I don't see anything hidden. Alright, I guess I will go in the next episode. For now, thank you for watching, subscribe, like, leave a comment if you want to, and I will see you next time.